I want to jump from Antonacci, who was hot in these streets, to a trade that actually happened while we were at Sox Fest, and that was the White Sox trading for David Sandlin. Now, kind of a weird trade in that the White Sox effectively bought a prospect here. They got Jordan Hicks back. If you're asking me, Jordan Lazowski, I think Jordan Hicks is like an NRI level of reliever. Maybe he gets a real small contract if he's just kind of out there in the streets after his last 2 years of performance. So to me, it felt like they're buying David Sandlin for $17 million, which is kind of the net money left over that didn't get sent over with the Hicks contract. What do you think about a move like this and the overall kind of cost of it?
I think outside of maybe some of the international work that gets is done with a guy like Murakami or something like that, I think this is the first thing he's done that, and as critical as I have been, that tangibly felt different than what Hahn or even before Hahn would do. The Sox have not done this. So it's like, okay, if you're going to be a little bit different as a GM, put your stamp on who you are. Doing something like this shows me you're thinking differently than your predecessors. No guarantee it's going to work, but teams do this. Like, you're at least catching up to what other teams do, and you're making a smart decision. I don't mind Hicks out of it either, to be honest with you. There's concern of mine that Bannister was part of the organization that eventually decided to make him a starter in the first place, which I think kind of set him on a different path.
Yeah.
You look at that, $12 million a year he got in that contract? Dominguez just got $10 million. So it's not that outrageous to be a $12 million reliever, as crazy as that sounds. So cost-wise, it still feels like it makes sense enough. And Sandlin's very interesting. He's someone that, as long as you put him back as a starter, you'd leave him there. He's not as far removed from starting. It was like half of the season with AAA. He was a reliever. Right. And he typically does not have control issues. And there were posts that he was up to like 100 plus over the offseason with some of the offseason work he was doing. There's a lot of intriguing things there. And you did it in a way that addresses an issue. I think moving Hicks back at least gets him back to respectable levels of play as a reliever. And you bought a potential starting pitcher by doing it. I think that's the type of move that, when you're rebuilding, that's what you do. That is absolutely, you take on bad contracts. You just deal with, you fix other people's mistakes, and you probably benefit at some point down the line from it. I think they should do more of this, obviously. And again, I'm impressed that Getz finally was able to either convince someone or just thought differently about making a move like this.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, but I was a little shocked at how expensive a 45 FV via Fangraphs prospect is, especially one that's already kind of at AAA. So this wasn't like you're getting an 18-year-old that's a 45 FV. Right. You're getting a kind of a little more mature pitcher or whatever. And I was like, this is something you do when you're in the spot we're in, but I don't know if in 2 years you would replicate this move. I think, to me, it doesn't seem like there's not a big edge in this, only if you have the opportunity. You have the super low payroll and you have the opportunity to get a guy up to the majors. But I like the opportunistic nature of trying it. I'm considering Hicks a zero. If you have to put Hicks on the fake IL for half the year to maneuver your the Rule 5 guys, that is fine by me, because I thought the real meat of this was to get David Sandlin in here and try to add another starting pitcher to the mix.